Hey, sisters, and welcome back to your Big Sisters podcast. I'm your host, Alexa, and we are here with Leila Sabet, founder of the Leidy Way. She was also president of my sorority when I joined, and a true sweet gem, and truly one of the most amazing, inspiring, incredible people I have ever known. I am so excited that she's here today. Where are you? Where are you living now?
So I thank you for having me, by the way,
Of
but I'm
course.
living in Fort Lauderdale. So I live just south of Las Olas, if anyone is
Okay.
familiar with the area.
Well, next time I'm home, I need to come. We need to hang out. We actually need to get it together and do something.
So ironic because you live where I used to live before here. So we like swapped.
That's so crazy.
I know. It's crazy.
I
It's
love
crazy.
it. One of my favorite memories of Layla, and honestly, it has just stuck with me through my entire college career, childhood, early adult life. And when I was in my prep ceremony, Layla was telling a story about herself and her culture, and she said, "I don't want you to come here to be like us. We want you to come here to be like you, and that's what makes us." And being authentic and genuinely myself has been something that was a struggle until I heard those words and took them to heart. And I've tried to live those through with every community that I've encountered. So Layla, what inspired you to be like so authentic? What early on, what did you learn that, shaped you into that?
Yeah. Well, I think the fact that you even remembered that line years after tells me so much about your depth and your intentionality. And so I want to affirm you in that because that's
Thank
really cool. You know, remind me of that. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe like that really resonated with her.
you.
But honestly, I didn't realize how much that line applied to my life beyond even just sorority recruitment because that exact guiding thought is how I approach rooms now between both work and friendships, relationally. And honestly, just like it took 20 something years to stop asking, do they like me? And I started asking, do I like who I am when I'm around them? And just
So good.
realizing that, yeah, just like that question, asking yourself that question every space you're in is so important. But I think just what inspired me is like the icky feeling that you get when you're not being yourself. So like I had friendships in my 20s, and I can say that now because I'm 30. 30.
I-
So fun, honestly. I'm like, I'm on the third floor.
He was so cute, by the way.
No.
Yeah.
Feeling like I didn't, yeah, I hated that feeling so much. It just didn't feel true to myself. And I think to answer your question in a very roundabout way, that's kind of why I led with that guiding thought years ago, 10 years ago. How long ago that was. It's
And I love that too, because it like when you feel icky, you're like, is something wrong with me? But like truly, like we need to be approaching too, like, do I like myself when I'm around these people? Because if not, then like it doesn't really truly mean that these people are bad people. They just mean that these people aren't for us. And we need to, continue to be around people that push us to grow and to be better humans. I love that.
it's so good. And it's like you like really can't build real connection from a
Mm,
curated personality. That's super fleeting. And I think like belonging in general isn't really when everyone likes you, it's when the right people understand you.
that's
So, yeah. And so it's like when, even just in sorority recruitment, a bunch of women are coming through and you want to be a part of something. And so sometimes we see it where like girls will try to be a certain way and try to emulate what they're, but like I said, it's not sustainable. It's fleeting. And yeah, I think that we really wanted to emphasize that message, but again, it applies to like life outside of recruitment. And I'm so glad you're bringing it up because it can apply to all of our friend groups and work peers and wherever you find yourself in those spaces, like really encouraging people to just truly be them because
Mhm.
that's when you're going to find the most innovation, the most sincerity, intentionality. It's really special.
Absolutely. And in your career, authenticity, like it can sometimes feel like risky, especially like depending on like the kind of career that you have. So was there a moment where choosing to be yourself felt scary, but ultimately like paid off like on your in your work life?
This is a good question. I think authenticity isn't loud, it's consistent. I think when I first started my job, so background, I work for Amazon and I have a very different role than I had when I first started my career. I'm going on 8 years with the company, which is insane. Like the
Wow.
time just flies. Like, it's
It
great.
really does.
It does. But what I did when I first graduated from college, I was considered a college hire. And so there was already like a weird, like, connotation around that or idea of like the college hires. I don't know. Maybe because we were young.
Hmm.
But I was working in a very male dominated field. And so all of my peers were men and my bosses were men and my boss's bosses were men. And I was managing both men and women. I was a very entry level manager in the
Hmm.
operation. And to give some context, so when I joined the team, I kind of felt like I really held back on like, I'm so feminine and like I felt like I had to hide that.
Hmm.
And to be honest, it's like this is like a great, I'm so glad you asked this question because I actually found myself doing so much worse in my role when I was trying so hard to be something I wasn't. It was super forced. And everyone that I was managing like 100 associates at the time, they could tell. And there was like a riff, and like it's almost like they didn't like me because they could tell I was like trying so hard to be this like stern, like, like I worked with a lot of like ex-military and like they were just that's how they led. That's like not how I lead. And it took me, gosh, probably a conversation with a mentor, which it was a man, and some of my best mentors have been men. So like I'm a huge proponent for both men and women and all of the
It's
work.
like, I'm not a men hater. I just love being a woman.
I'm like really big on that. I'm so not. You can be a feminist and not hate men. Like,
Yes.
guys, like I'm in that category. But so I had a really good conversation with a mentor, and he basically was like, "You're like not." He just straight up said, "He's like, you're not being yourself, and like everyone sees it." And I was kind of taken aback because I'm like, oh, this is awkward. Like, I literally do pageants and like glitter, and I'm so girly and I love to cook, and I don't know, just things. And I felt like I couldn't be like that. And it wasn't until like I was like, you know what, screw it. Like, this isn't working for me, so I'm just gonna like full on go for it. I remember I baked like 3 batches of cookies for my associates. Like,
It's so
I
sweet.
started wearing pink to work with my neon vest in the operation, like cheetah print. Like, I did not care. And it was so crazy how well received that was because in my mind, I was saying, this isn't going to be received well. People aren't going to like me. People aren't going to want to fall under my leadership or whatever it was. And instead, it was the complete opposite. And I feel like that just goes to show how important authenticity is in the workplace and beyond. Like when people see you, they want to follow you and they
Right.
trust you. It's trusting when someone's authentic, and trust is everything.
Absolutely. That's amazing. I love that. I used to like go to work too in like my pink suit and I'm like, I can't imagine like wearing literally anything else. And like now I work from home and I'm just like in my pink robe all day. No, it's so true. Like, because it is like just push that you have to be a certain way, like, especially like in like a male dominated career, but you succeed the most when you're being true to yourself and authentic to yourself. And outside of your career, which I think is kind of part of your career, you just launched the Leidy Way, which feels super personal and creative. So I want you to tell us about it, what it is, and what pushed you to finally put that part of yourself out there, and how did you, quiet any self-doubt that, around being seen in that part of yourself.
I love that. Thank you for asking.
Of
The
course.
Leidy Way is just, it's a passion project. I mean, I have like my full-time real, career. I say real. Gosh, this is real too.
It is
But
real.
it's real. I have like my job with Amazon, obviously. And then this is what I consider my passion project. And the reason I launched it is because the older I get, the more I appreciate the beauty in the little things, like the in-between moments. And we can just get so busy and so caught up and in comparison in like the loudness and the things that are happening around us. And like something that's always grounded me and brought me joy is working with my hands. And I love being crafty. My whole life my mom did crafts with us growing up. It was like a Friday or a Saturday, and it's elementary school. My mom's like, this is the craft we're doing today. And it was just normal in my house. And so I really feel like even just being crafty as a kid has helped me so much in my adult life, just being able to problem solve. And
Mhm.
my brain works like it's unlocked in different areas than maybe it wouldn't have been if I didn't tap into that creative side. So, anyways, the reason I launched the Leidy Way was because I really wanted to inspire people to do something different, think outside the box, like work with your hands. Like maybe you don't have to buy it, maybe you can make it. And so there's like the DIY side of things and the decor side of things, which Christmas is my favorite time of year. You will find me like flooding your Instagram feed with the Leidy Way Christmas.
Guys, you have to go save it for next year. Like all of her ideas were so amazing. They're so stinking cute. Like you have to go follow her and save the ideas for next year because oh my goodness, like the silver reindeers were my favorite. They were so cute.
Love them. It's just so much fun. And it's like, yeah. And then there's the design side of things. So we do like interior design and like it's something my mom's really good at and something I'm learning from her. So yeah,
And
kind
the
of
name has to do with your mom too, right?
it does. So obviously my name is Layla and my mom's name is Jody. So those combined is Lady. So we do things the Leidy way.
So cute. Speaking of feminine and being true to yourself, I love that. It's guys, it's so cute. I'm throwing a Galentine's next weekend and I'm having a couple of her ideas as my decor. So you can't miss out. Like truly, she's just like shines so bright in everything she does, especially when she's so passionate about it. So you have to go check it out. And I know like a lot of women struggle with like separating like who they are from who they think they should be. So, what helped you distinguish between the two, and what advice would you give someone who feels stuck in the comparison trap?
Mm. I think I think that something that I learned in the past few years is that you are truly always where you're supposed to be. And sometimes I look back on moments where I felt really stuck or like behind, and then I look at the fruit that came after.
Hmm.
And it helped me realize, like, oh my gosh, like, I wouldn't be in this position or launching the Leidy Way if I had something else on my plate, like, honestly, like planning a wedding.
Hmm.
Like, if I had that on my plate, I would have never done this passion project. And like, that's just the reality of it. It's like, you can be around so many distractions, and all of them are beautiful celebrations too. I don't say distractions in like a bad way,
Of
but
course.
sometimes distractions or other people's celebrations can make you feel like behind or like you're not where you're supposed to be. But there is intention in every season, and it's a choice. It's a choice for you to really make something of the season that you're in and really just be present and enjoy it. And so, yeah, I would just say for those who feel stuck, like just look back on the testimonies, if you will, of your life prior. And don't forget about the times when you're like, wow, if this didn't happen, this wouldn't have happened. I think
Hmm.
there's a lot of power in testimony. And that's why journaling is really good, just like writing down those moments so that you can go back and reference those things.
Absolutely. And I had somebody tell me once, be where your feet are. And I think that it's such a powerful saying and it's so hard and so easy to compare, especially like in our 20s and early 30s. Like I thought 10 years ago I'd be married by now, which is like so crazy. But now like I live alone and I never thought I'd have that opportunity. And I feel like I found a lot of myself, not that I didn't know who I was, but like being forced to spend so much time with myself has like forced me to get to know myself better. And I'm so grateful for that. And I like truly feel like because I'm doing this, it's going to make me a better partner in life one day. And if I'm just trying to enjoy being where my feet are at, so I could, put some more into that too.
So that's so well said. And it's also just like, I feel like sometimes like we could get pressure from other people. And I think that it's also important for people to understand that like when someone's saying like, oh, like this is an example, like if someone's like, oh, like you're not going to college, and let's just as an example, maybe it's not for everyone,
Right.
then it's a projection of their personal opinion, their
Mhm.
personal perspective. It doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. And so I think just being able to like discern that sometimes like if someone says something and it makes you feel like, oh, am I not supposed to be where I'm supposed to be? I feel like that's when you kind of say that's like about them. It's not about me.
Mhm.
So just being able to separate that too.
Absolutely. And if you could give one big sister reminder to someone who feels disconnected from their authentic self right now, what would you want them to hear?
I think if you have to become someone else to belong, you're in the wrong room. And the right spaces don't require a costume. And I think you just really got to listen to yourself. So if you're in that space and you feel like you don't belong, then you either have to change your perspective or enter a new door, honestly.
Absolutely. That's so good. And don't feel like it's going to be an easy thing to do either.
Yeah.
Because feeling like in the costume, metaphor too, like you're going to have to get naked with yourself
Ooh, yeah.
and like strip yourself down to the bare bones to figure out who you are and where you belong. And that doesn't mean like testing out different versions of yourself. That means like digging deep into who you are and then seeing where that follows.
Yeah. And it's like it sounds cheesy too, but it's also just like you kind of I would encourage you to like look back on like the highs and lows of your life and remember like who was there because I think like the most intentional and authentic relationships too that like help you get through those times where you're struggling are the
Hmm.
people that are like in the trenches with you
Yeah.
rather than like I don't know, sometimes you see like very convenient friendships where it's
Hmm.
like things are going really well and you're doing social things together and then like you're down in the dumps and then like all of a sudden they're gone. It's like pay attention to those things too.
Yeah.
And it's okay. That's okay. It's totally okay. It's just going to help you be more true to yourself when you have people around you that let you be you.
Absolutely. And I actually experienced that like a lot this year in my grief journey, and like grief like really kind of slaps you in the different forms of like losing a person, breaking up with the person, whatever that grief means to you. But in the moments of my deep grief, people walked away. And that hurt so bad because I was in so much pain too. But now looking back, like 7 months out of it, I could not be more grateful because it's helped me be in the rooms where I feel celebrated and loved and like empowered that I made it through a hard time. And I wouldn't have made it through if those people didn't come through, but I had to make room for them.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. And making room for them. Ooh, that's a good word. You could do a sermon on that.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of, there was a worship song that I was listening to like 6 months ago. It's called Make Room. I don't even remember who sings it, but I
Oh,
was just like, yes, that's the one. And I remember just singing and being and hearing like shake up the ground of all my religion, break down the walls, like your way is better. And I didn't know what I was asking for. Like I had no idea what I was asking for in that moment, and I don't want people to hear what I'm not saying in the next thing I'm going to say because I wish my dad was on this earth more than anything in the world. But I do know that like he needed to be healed in a way that the earthly world couldn't do that for him. And so God's way was better in bringing him to his kingdom. And in doing that, he's healed things in me that probably wouldn't have been healed if he was still on this earth. And it brought me closer to people and makes me more confident in myself because I'm surrounded by those people. And I don't wish, like, obviously that to happen to anybody, but, and I, again, please don't hear what I'm not saying, but I just, like, it's so crazy, but you really do, like, have to make room for those people to come into your life and for yourself to grow. You do that so, so well, Layla.
that's really sweet. I just want to like give you the biggest hug right now because I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And I feel like you have just always been someone, in my opinion, what I don't know what you were dealing with internally all the years that when I first knew you, but like to me, you were always so not afraid to be yourself. And it made me love you more because I'm like, gosh, like this girl's unapologetic. Like, I don't know. And it just goes to show too, like, you don't want to like goes back to the quote you said. You don't want to go into a space and be like everyone else. Like
Mhm.
you want to be different. You want to stand out because when you don't blend in, the right people will find you. And I feel like that is really what's happened to you in the last few years from what I can see. And so I'm proud of you.
Thank
I love
you.
you. And it's honestly your testimony that you just gave is like such a good example that like there is purpose in absolutely everything.
I'm so proud of you too. So, so
Thanks,
proud.
sweetie.
Thank you so much for coming on. I'm seriously so grateful. Guys, you need to go follow Layla and her Leidy Way page. She is amazing. I'm gonna ask you one more question, and then, but it's a question that I want to ask everybody who comes on. And what is the best piece of advice that you've ever received? And it could have to do with authenticity. It could be outside the box. Yours on my pref day was pretty good, but
Best piece of advice. I think I haven't flushed out the verbiage of this, but it's something that I have on my heart right now, so I'm going to say it. It's always better to be the kind person.
yes.
It like that sounds so cheesy and so basic, but I think like exclusivity is mean girl behavior and you never want to be that girl. It's
Say
always
it
better to be
louder.
totally, Don't be that girl. It's not cute. It's not who we're called to be. And I think just being kind and inclusive are one of or two of the most powerful things that you can be as a human being on this earth.
if not the most powerful. That's so
Yeah.
good. And you
Yeah.
are truly one of the kindest people I have ever met. And like that is so true to who Layla is, that she is so kind that it makes everybody around her want to be just as kind as she is. It's her
Oh.
superpower. I love you so much, Layla. Thank you so much for coming on your Big Sisters podcast. I can't wait to chat again soon, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.